Hello everyone, welcome to another update. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. So today we're going to start briefly looking at Arctic ice thickness. And by the way, thickness is slightly different than extent. For extent on JAXA, we're at 11th lowest right now at 12.54. Starting to tail off a little bit in a good direction, but let's see how things go. Here you can see we're not the lowest on record, but definitely lower than average. And you can see, looking at this is the DMI, by the way, links will be in the description. You can see already there's pockets of melt, and most importantly, where the thickest ice is, right here, you can see there's already a peeling back right there. And also warm water, I believe, is starting to intrude through here. So looking at Earth Null School, by the way, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you can. It's totally free. Helps the algorithm. Like this video, leave a comment. Typical YouTube stuff. Right now we're looking at Null School, and I'll pan back in a second to sea surface temperatures, but you can see even though La Nina has, for the most part it seems, started forming, there's still a lot of heat building. 37°C down in Mexico, and then all the way up in Canada there's places that are 13°C, so we're getting a long span of warmth. Let's quickly look over sea surface temperatures. You'll see the anomalies. That's the anomalous cold that would signify a La Nina starting. But notice around it, it's still very anomalously warm. There's a big, massive traction of heat in the Pacific. And there's still heat intermixed with this quote-unquote slowing down of AMOC and the freshwater melt coming off of the Arctic early. So you can see the juxtaposition between the anomalous ocean heat and the anomalous cold temperatures coming from excess meltwater that isn't always there. So yeah, fun stuff. I wanted to briefly go over, again, if you haven't checked out climateandeconomy.com, not affiliated, it's just the newsletter I swear by for climate data and information. I'm going to recap a couple of headlines real quick from just the early April articles. I'm going to do another video soon because I've been getting over sickness and stuff. Still am. And a couple more weeks from now, we'll hear more about the rest of April and May. But starting on April 2nd, we had floods in Pakistan and India. Chinese storms, supercells were blasting windows out. Venezuelan wildfires. The Alberta fire season has roared to life early in April. The April 4th headline, 119.3 Fahrenheit in Kayes, Mali. It's 48.5 Celsius. It was not only the hottest April Africa day, but it was a world heat record for early April. Had extreme heat closed Philippines schools. 99.9 in Belize City. That's their hottest day. It was 37.7 Celsius. Costa Rica hit an April record of 104.5 Fahrenheit. Tornadoes in the Midwest roaring to life, and it is peak tornado season right now, April and May. We haven't had terribly too many the last couple of years. This year, that's not the case. Important article from the April 4th. Aerosol reduction increases the EEI, the Earth's energy imbalance. So that falls in line with Leon Simon's recent work and what he's been saying about that. April 6th, the Ural River burst. A dam on the Ural River burst. Major flooding in Russia. Mega rainfall again in China. 111 degrees Fahrenheit in Myanmar. Another interesting article. The Canadian wildfires were so extensive that they contributed to an overall loss of global tree cover in 2023. 102 degrees Fahrenheit in Morocco. And this is, again, early April. Go on to April 11th. Hottest Belize day on record. 108.1 Fahrenheit. 42.3 Celsius, Barton Creek. United Kingdom harvest severely affected by floods, and that continued on from April to May, and that's going to come up soon in the summer when People were experiencing food shock prices. 100 plus deaths in the Mali heat wave. I mentioned they were breaking temperature records. Great Barrier Reef's seen some of its most severe bleaching ever recorded, and that's disastrous for that. Both the regional area and the ecosystem itself. However you want to look at that. April 13th. Here's an interesting, pretty devastating article. Sobering, if you will. Arctic permafrost now a net source of major greenhouse gases. So that's going to be difficult to factor into net zero. Record temperature minimums in Africa, getting some 80-degree plus overnights. 104 in Cuba, that was a temperature record. Severe drought in Mexico and Colombia. Unseasonal Midwest United States wildfires. And we did talk earlier videos about the Texas wildfires. Pretty disastrous stuff. And then I also wanted to go over April 16th's headlines. 93.6 in Mexico City. It's their hottest ever recorded temperature in history. Now, it doesn't sound like too much, but it's high up in the mountains. It's like 3,000 meters above sea level. 2,000. Wildfire early in Spain. Congo landslides kill 15 plus. 58 deaths and tens in neofloods. A lot of flooding deaths in this newsletter. 33 in Afghanistan. 17 deaths in Oman flooding. 43.1 degrees Celsius, 109 Fahrenheit. China hit its hottest April temperature. So that's just from the beginning of April. Just wanted to rapid fire like 30 or 40 little headlines. And I'm going to do the same in another video coming up in the next couple weeks, where we continue to look at how the Arctic goes with regards to maybe a new potential record low. Not entirely certain it's going to happen, but I don't want to call it, because every year that goes by, more wildfire smoke is chewing away at the ozone, and that's leading to more UV radiation blasting the Arctic. So we have less and less of a chance of dodging BOE as the years go by. So it remains to be seen whether we'll hit a new record low of 3.18 million kilometers squared, according to JAXA, that is, the Japanese Arctic data source. And stick in touch. Stay in touch. Yeah, I'm a little bit disjointed on account of the fact that I haven't been doing well physical health, and it's also 86, 87 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got 90 plus wet bulb right now. It's very hot, very humid. Very hard to think. I scrapped together as much as I could for these climate headlines, given that it was very difficult to think, and it gave me a headache scrolling through the websites today. But haven't done a video in like 2 months, so look forward to another one in a couple weeks. And as always, if you go into the About section of my YouTube at Justin Lesso, you'll see there's a small link. Feel free to send us a donation. Like $5 goes a huge way. We have like 1 to 2 people regularly donating every month or so, and I appreciate those people a lot, but we could always use a little more help from the community, and liking and subscribing the video goes a long way. Sharing the video, if you do, try to do it in the morning with some sort of link. For whatever reason, it helps the algorithm. But yeah, I think that's as much as I can fit into this little 10-minute blurb, and I'll see everybody on the next Doom update.